to strengthen universal peace in larger freedom. We recognize that eradicating poverty in all its forms and dimensions, including extreme poverty, is the greatest global challenge and an indispensable requirement for sustainable development. Our countries and all stakeholders acting in collaborative partnership will implement this plan. We are resolved to free the human race from the tyranny of poverty and want to heal and secure our planet. We are determined to take the bold and transformative steps which are urgently needed to shift the world onto a sustainable and resilient path. As we embark on this collective journey, we pledge that no one will be left behind. The 17 Sustainable Development Goals and 169 targets, which we are announcing today, demonstrate the scale and ambition of this new universal agenda. They seek to build the Millennium Development Goals and complete what these did not achieve. They seek to realize the human rights of all and to achieve gender equality and the empowerment of all women and girls. They are integrated and indivisible and balance the three dimensions of sustainable development: the economic, social, and environmental. The goals and targets will stimulate action over the next 15 years in areas of critical importance for humanity and the planet. So this is part of the preamble for the 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development Goals by UNO. We all are trying our best to work on these agendas. So now, for many weekends, I have been discussing on mental well-being and physical well-being of teachers and of children. So today we thought of talking about Sustainable Development Goal 2, which is zero hunger. I have Isha Olua as, I have Indianized this name. I think I'm correct in pronouncing. She's a strong advocate for sustainable farming, gender inclusion, social entrepreneurship, and SDGs. She's with almost 7 years of experience teaching French language and over 20 years of experience in sustainable farming and volunteering. She's a graduate of French language education from the University of Ibadan, Oyo State, Nigeria. Isha Oluvia is the current secretary of the Junior Chamber International Premier Chapter, Ibadan, Oyo State, Nigeria, where she is involved in sensitization and helping people develop key life skills such as leadership and life management. And she's the founder of Subtorganic Nigeria Limited, a social enterprise which deals in organic farming and production of tomatoes, organic farm and garden setups to reduce chemical intake. They also work with community and schools on many programs towards healthy production and consumption of organic produce. So ultimately, Isha Olivia thrives in organic farming processes, youth development, volunteering, and education. Welcome to Abinicio. Can you elaborate, SDG to our viewers or listeners?
Okay. So SDG2, as we all know, aims to achieve zero hunger. And then it is one of the 17 Sustainable Development Goals established by the United Nations in 2015. So, and again, the official wording is end hunger, achieve food security, and improve nutrition, and promote sustainable agriculture. So SDG2 highlights the complex interlinkage between food security, nutrition, rural transformation, and sustainable agriculture. So according to the United Nations, there are around 690 million of people who are hungry, and then which accounts for slightly less than 10% of the world population. So 1 in every 9 people go to bed hungry every night. So including 20 million people currently at risk of famine in Nigeria, Somalia, South Sudan, and other countries. So if we really want to end hunger, we need to go together, leaving no one behind. There are so many opportunities around us. We don't need to own a big farm before we can farm sustainably. So SDG 2 is just one of the main goals we need to achieve on or before 2030.
Yes, that's very, very simple words you have explained what probably in pages, I could read in SDGs, the website. So now I know you as an educator. Tell me more about works you are doing for SDG 2, for zero hunger from your end.
Okay. So, the mission is ending hunger, achieving food security, and improve nutrition and promote sustainable agriculture. So I work with children and women, leaving no one behind. So my organization is Sort Organic Nigeria Limited. So it's a social enterprise which deals in organic farming, farm setups, and then children and school advocates. So we have several projects. We work on women, and then we work on children, not leaving anyone behind. So all we do is work with women. All we do is work with women and children to help them set up farms, and then encourage them to own a farm in their house. Okay, so looking at the world now, it is obvious that we are not really on track to achieve zero hunger by 2030 if we don't work together. So the sign of decreasing hunger, and then food insecurity is just to work together. So in our organization, we work with children and women. We help them develop their farms, and then help them eat what they grow and grow what they eat, and also achieve something and money from it. So that is what we do. And then I've worked with a couple of organizations in developing children and then encouraging them on how to set up their farms sustainably. So we don't need to own a lot of space before we can own a farm. We make use of our waste, like our home wastes and home waste and everything. So we all we do is get your waste plastic in the house. You don't need much soil. We do soilless farming. Just get your plastic waste, your nylon waste, pack them together, plant something, and eat what you grow. So in your houses, you can grow anything you want to do. Looking at the leafy green vegetables, for example, within 40 days, you can plant it and then harvest it. Eating organic vegetables and eating less of chemical fertilized food. So growing vegetables in the house now, you can use your broken plastic, just put your soil there, put enough manure, and then grow, just drop a seed. A seed can actually feed a couple of people. So that is what we do. We encourage our kids to also indulge in farming sustainably, without chemical practice, without chemical intake and everything.
Okay. See, do you think zero hunger is possible? If yes, what are the measures? Because now, as per SDG, our goal is for 2030, and as you just rightly mentioned, we are not on track. Of course, looking at all the crises that we have faced during the pandemic and after the pandemic, I don't think we are on track. So if at all zero hunger is possible by 2030 if we want to target in another 8 years, if you want to do that. So what are the measures that you can look at?
Okay, I'm very sure by 2030, zero hunger, if we come together, because leaving no one behind, if we come together and then work very hard on it, we will achieve zero hunger. Yes, by reducing our food waste, indulging in farming. We don't need to own a big farm, like I said all the time. Just start to grow what you eat in the comfort of your home. We can break it. Invest in small farmers, increase them, give them more tools to use, and then adequate security. We will. And also when we pave way for farm to market, after when it is harvest time, at times, just like in Nigeria here, people are so in panic. Moving their farm produce from the farm to the market is another thing. It's another challenge. So when we help farmers, small farmers, when we indulge them better with the right tools, we will. And then our kids are growing up. Let's all just enjoy. They want to be engaged. Let us help them to start to grow what they eat and eat what they grow. By doing that, we will achieve zero hunger. We need to reduce our food waste. Yes, there's a way of turning our food waste into compost and then using it on our farms. If you have a plot of land to build your house, and then you have few space around you, you can turn it to a little garden. Plant what you eat. We can start with normal crop production, normal vegetables. Plant green leafy vegetables, plant peppers, tomatoes, carrots, few things. We will. When I have things to eat in my garden, I am free. Yes, I am free, because in my town, we believe there's an adage we use in my language that when there's enough food for us to eat, then we are free in a way. Yes, we are free in a way. So looking at the zero hunger by 2030, if we all come together, leaving no one behind, we will possibly achieve zero hunger. We have to reduce our food waste. Like I said, we should always learn to cook the little amount of food we want to eat. Pave way for farmers, prefer good security measures for farmers, improve and invest in farmer education. So many farmers don't even know how to go about their farming. So we need to bring people together, especially women. Yes, like I do say, especially women, because they have a lot to play in the house. We women, we have a lot to play in the house. When we come together, learn to grow what we eat in our houses, everything will change. And then NGOs should also help kids that are coming. We should learn to feed them in a way, and then improve. That will definitely improve small farmers' productivity. Urban farming sustainably. Like I said, we don't need a plot of land, a large space to farm. We can start sustainably. And how can we start sustainably? Just gather your waste in the house. We all have plastic waste. Just bring it out, put soil, put manure, and then plant something, and it will germinate. Just a seed of green vegetable can feed a whole house. That is it. So when we do that, and then we give our small farmers access to credit, it will help us a lot as a nation. It will help us as a world. And then access to normal and proper education. As a farmer, how do I plant this? Okay, how do I make use of this tool? How do I make use of this particular things? Okay, this small soil that I have, how do I plant things? How do I grow my vegetables? How do I grow my crops in a proper way? Then birth control, education. We all need to be educated in such a way. Should learn to give birth to the number of children we can cater for.
Yes, I
So
think when you talk about education, I always, when I look at 17 goals, I always felt that all these goals are interconnected. And when you spoke about farming on their own, probably we have people on the street who don't even own a land. To grow their own food, all that. So if I think if we have to look at balancing each and every area we are talking about under sustainable development goals, probably when you look at poverty, when you look at illiteracy, probably mental well-being, physical well-being. So if we balance everything together, only then zero hunger is achievable. Otherwise, we have each person with a different scenario, and probably one solution may not be applicable to all the people. And definitely, what you said is applicable to majority of people who have their own land, or who are for a temporary basis, even if they are on rent, who have place to live, and can do their own farming, all that. But we have to also think about reducing the number of people who are on street, and we have to make sure that they get two times food what they require to live their life, because life is fundamental, right? You cannot deny life. You cannot deny the right to live to any of the person for any reason. So obviously we have to make sure that all of them are taken care. And I don't know what is the scenario in different countries, but where I belong to, I see many promises are made from the government's end, but it is when it comes to implementing it, I don't see that is getting implemented. And mostly for that reason, every day I definitely see minimum, 2, 3 children on the road who are begging when I am traveling from my home to office. Or I see, minimum 2, 3 members on the street who are just sleeping on the footpath. So they're all deprived from many basic needs what they need to have. Obviously, sometimes they're also responsible, but from our end, we are responsible, or our administration or government is have to make sure that we are providing them basic facilities, so that that the how we can avoid all those things by happening. Obviously, by giving good education from the childhood, you make sure that you are preparing a better human being. When they are in school, you give them proper education, and you make sure that you are giving them education which can feed them once they complete the education. Because in many cases you don't have relation between what you study and what you do. In many cases, especially where you have this traditional education system, there what you study in book, and when you go out, when you step out to the real world, and what you actually face is completely different. So you have to make sure that you are preparing children, or you are preparing youth for all the challenges they may face. Because during this pandemic we could see many people committing suicide, On top of, obviously, by the effect of COVID, already people were dying, and on top of it, many people could not manage the stress, and they lost a job, and they lost source of income, and their business closed down. So they committed suicide because they are not ready to take challenges of that life throws at them. So it is very essential that you balance everything. You give them proper education, you give them life skills, and you make sure that they are strong enough to face the challenges, and you make sure that you are preparing them for probably with all the skills, where even if nothing is there, as you said, at the end of the day, at least they can grow something and eat and fill their stomach. Or probably common farming areas and all can be provided with some uh, this one, so with your idea only, if we want to go ahead, then we can obviously offer government owned or administration owned common farm landing for those people who want to probably work and grow their own food and eat. That will again lead to conflict and issues, but obviously there are many other compensation and many other facilities are given for people to come forward in their life. So obviously this also with some restrictions the government can plan. So there are many measures. Obviously not only we cannot we can depend on UNO to do things, because now when I was reading the preamble, I could see that UNO included every member country, we. So, but how many of us in each country know about SDGs? Right? I think not even 1% of people from each country know about SDGs, or what actually we have to look to, look forward, and what we have to do, what is our responsibilities. We have unless we started talking and discussing with some people, probably many of them, they did not even hear of this word as sustainable development goals. So it is because none of the governments have majorly worked on this or tried promoting this to each person of that particular country. If it would have, it would have been done, I think we could have seen far better improvement, because there are many responsible, sensible people around the world, in any country you take. But unfortunately, our education, or probably these kind of programs or these kind of things are not reaching them. It's, if it reaches the people, if there is someone who tells them this is what we have to achieve and this is your responsibility, so many of them are ready to act upon it. But unfortunately there is no promotion on this particular thing, unless if I just look at here in India or in many other countries, only few NGOs talk about SDGs, or in few schools it is there in syllabus, so students or children just read and forget it. But unfortunately it is not there in common people mind. If it is there in common people's mind, so obviously you will be able to achieve collectively. As you said, we have to come together. That is possible only when people know about it, when people are aware that there are millions of people dying of hunger. Only when people are aware of this, they'll come forward, right? So they'll think twice before wasting the food. It is only educated, or probably only people who are looking at reality of outside of their home or their country, they know and they are acting upon it. But it is our responsibility, or probably each country's representatives' responsibility, to taking this to each and every individual, so that they can act upon it. And next, this you told me that you have majorly worked on SDGs too. So, but still, I just want to know what is the importance of mental and health well-being in sustainable development in your point of view. That is what actually I spoke just now. But from your point of view, what is the importance of health and well-being of health, physical and mental well-being in
Okay.
sustainable development?
Okay. So now I believe when we eat well, then when we are healthy, we learn to walk well. Yes. So before I even go there, in Nigeria here, we youths are actually coming together. Yes, in Nigeria. The Nigerian government is really helping us. We are coming together to break the barrier. We are coming together to work more on the SDGs. And then during during the pandemic the events that happened in 2020, I summoned courage to own a farm. Yes, I summoned courage to own a farm. I started farming sustainably. I planted vegetables and pepper, and it really came out so well. And do you know what I did? I had to share with my community. I had to share with my people, those around me, and they were encouraged. And some of them own a farm now. And then there was this old woman I set up a garden for. I planted the green vegetables for her, and then she was so glad because let's say in 27 days, the vegetables came out so well. I planted okra, the green vegetables, spinach, and everything. In fact, the daughter abroad came back and then she was like, I am so glad with what you did with my mom. So coming together, fine. I actually fought for the woman in a way because she ate well. Eating well is different from eating well, you guys. Eating sustainably and eating well. She ate green vegetables and she was so healthy. She lived during the pandemic, she didn't have any cost to go out to buy anything. She was eating her vegetables and she was looking so good. So when we try to eat well, eating less of chemical induced vegetables, we will live well. That is what I know. I am so sure of that. When we eat sustainably, leaving no one behind, we will. It is possible. Zero hunger will be achieved. That is just my opinion about it. It will be achieved. And then very soon we'll be launching another project, which is sort of farming with kids. So we'll be working with a few public schools in Nigeria. It will be a club actually. So we are going to teach them how to farm sustainably. We'll teach them two types of farming, rather, the soilless farming and then the one with soil. We are going to bring them together, make sure everyone is accounted for. We are going to own farms, a couple of farms in the school, using plastic waste. We'll teach them to plant something in used plastic. We are going to upcycle the plastic waste coming together, and then everything after a period of time, we come together, create a school market for farm produce in the school, whereby the parents will come together to check what the children have done over the time, and then we'll be selling these vegetables. So the money we realize, we are going to get some new uniforms and pay their tuitions. That is what we are coming up with. That is our new project. So we'll be coming up with a club, sort of farming with kids. They are going to plant using two major methods: the soilless farming and then the soil farming. At the end of the period, whatever vegetables we come about, we gather together, we are going to develop a school farm market whereby the parents can come, buy from us, view whatever we've planted, and then we'll sell it out. Whatever we come out of, whatever money we generate of the farm, we are going to share it. Get some new uniforms, new bags, new shoes, new socks, and also get some whatever they need in their houses. You know, some children don't have beds. They don't have where they sleep. All they do is sleep with people, manage in houses. So we are going to get them together and also pay their tuition fees. So we want to like break the gender barrier and also help them live a healthy life, because these children are going to be the future. So the future starts now. We want to like indulge them, engage them, and also be part of their lives.
Yeah, Robert Major have texted here. In Taiwan, our school's junior high opened up a piece of land for the families of our elementary school that uses wastewater mixed with agricultural water and rainwater to grow their own food. We use wood chips, grass, etc. that we collect from the sea as fertilizer. Yeah, that's a great job. I think, that is really appreciable, because, if you are opening the farm and probably, I have seen people dying, fighting, and, killing each other for land. And if someone or group of people are opening up piece of land for different families to grow their own food as a great thing. And thank you so much for doing that, and that's a great job. I have started speaking about this, so now I'm asking you, so what motivated you to talk or do the humanitarian works that you are doing?
Okay, so so begin with, I'm an educator, a trained educator, and I think, and I know, as an educator, I have to eat well to be able to facilitate education. So all I have done is to eat well and help others to eat well. So what actually motivated me? Okay, I would like to talk a bit about my upbringing. Okay, I grew up having a wonderful father. Okay, my father was a retired soldier, and then after he retired, he ventured into farming. So for over 20 years of my life, I lived with my father, with my parents actually, and then I was always going to the farm with my dad. So that actually grew my passion for farming. Yes, that grew my passion for farming. And one thing that actually struck me growing up was that my dad, after harvesting, my dad would tell us, if you want to live and see a better future, a better world, a better community, you need to start from you. So my dad will practically share all his produce with everybody in the community. He'll tell us, take this to this person's house, take this to this person's house. When they eat well, I'll see them tomorrow and then we'll be able to talk. So that actually gave me the passion. Yes, it gave me the passion to also affect my community positively. So I think if I want to see a better future, I need to start. I need to do something. I need to affect the next person beside me. I need to help those around me. And how can I possibly affect them if I don't help them to feed well? They need to feed well and eat well. So growing up, I saw people generally being poor and then being affected by what they eat. I see children children's growth being stunted. I see people grow having kwashiorkor, having so many health defects. So I just believe when we actually get it straight, leaving no one behind, like I said, let us all grow together, we will possibly achieve zero hunger. And that actually struck me. And then I told myself, one day I'm going to start this. And then I'm going to affect people around me, when I help one people, I believe when I help one people, the one people will help one people. The one person rather will help one person, and then the one person will help one person, and the next one person will help another one person. Then I'm building a community of healthy people. Yes, I'm building a community of healthy people. Yes. So during the COVID, I got the courage to start something. I don't have a farmyard yet, but then I have a garden. I have a garden where I started planting my things, where I have my aloe veras, I have my green vegetables. I planted watermelon at a point, and then the watermelon really came out well. I planted okra and other things that are so healthy. Well, I believe, and I know when we eat well, we will surely be healthy. So I'm ready to do this. I am so ready. And I can't, like in 5 years.
My friend, and she sent back to me. So I thought, yes, world is small. And when you try to do something, that obviously, you have a chain, and that is why I always believe that when you are talking, you have to make sure that you are talking something good, you are making someone's day, you're making people smile, and you are giving them courage. So I was asking the other day on LinkedIn if there is someone who can talk to children about stammering, because I was there in another school the other day. So I could see that one child is struggling to speak, and other children, other students were laughing at him. So I felt really bad. And I know this boy was also laughing with them. But I know what happens inside, right? So sometimes what happens, we used to it. He used to it. He always gets to hear his friends laughing at him, and finally he accepted it, and he is laughing with them when they are laughing, when he's trying to speak and he's stuttering, he's stammering. So I felt how actually it feels inside. I know. So we have to make sure that we are educating other children also, that what you are doing is kind of abuse and kind of bullying. If you are laughing at someone because of his a small probably disability, so this is not his mistake, or it is not purposefully he or she is doing. It's part of their regular life. He's born like that, or he's brought up in that way. So you have to accept him as he is, right? So I that is why I was asking, if someone can talk to children, or just like this one event we can plan, and we can tell parents that this is what you have to do. So I always believed what you said. It's just influencing one person next to you, and definitely it goes further, and I believe in that. Thank you so much for everything you are doing, and more power to you. I wish more power to you, and for everyone who's listening to us, who's like people. If it is some event which is entertaining, definitely you will have hundreds of people joining. But this kind of events, I know even if there are three, and I'm 100% sure they are really, really interested, and they're concerned towards the world, and they want to see better world. So that's why I'm 100% sure all of them who are here, Akhil or Benjamin or Biswal, Robert, all of them, they are doing a lot, and I'm sure they'll definitely do a lot more. So thank you all for being with us, and thank you so much, Esha, for all that experiences that you shared, and that's so inspiring. I hope and I believe that from now at least I interact with schools. I'll try to tell them, as Robert has already have done in school. I definitely give this idea to schools, and here we have in school they just do the farming or grow some trees just to give an idea of how this plant grows, all that. But with this idea of sustainable farming, or making sure that people are able to grow what they eat, not any school is doing anything. So I think if we talk to them, if whoever I meet, definitely I'll tell them this can be one of the life skills that they teach to their children, so that they are ready, whatever life brings to them, they are ready to grow their own food and eat. Thank you all. Thank you so much for joining us. See you all. Have a great weekend.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye. Thank you.